What we've been told is there is the generational savior is coming. And what I've been doing is I've been tracking where the generational savior is. Seems that he's like Carmen Sandiego. I can't find him as I watch college football, prepared to watch it after we get off the barbershop. Shout out to my guy right here. God Music 96. Follow him on all these platforms. He put together something for me. He saw me the other day. He showed me something the other day. He sent me a montage that I'm going to play throughout this next skit. And he only did it the way he can do it, boy. He did it up nice. Go follow him on Instagram. Go follow him on TikTok. Go follow him on YouTube. He put a montage and a mix-up of the way I talk about the 26 class. Quarterbacks in 26. Say it again. The quarterback in 26. It's almost the same. Like I woke up in a new Bugatti. The quarterback's in 26. You gotta drive the car. The quarterback's in. You know what I'm saying? But I did a rendition. Shout out to him about the hero and savior. And he brought it to us. Let's play that real quick. Make sure y'all check him out.
Listen, this segment is sponsored by Mr. Hero. We always looking for one. I can be your hero, baby. You just looking for one. What did you eat this morning? My breakfast. Y'all been looking for one. I don't see it. I don't see it. See it.
What they be looking for, G. Bush?
Hey, listen, this segment is sponsored by Mr. Hero. We always looking for one. I can be your hero, baby. You just looking for one. What did you eat this morning? My breakfast. Y'all been looking for one. I don't see it. I don't see it. See it.
Listen, we don't see it, man. We got to figure some things out. We don't see it. Speaking of, let's go ahead and let's get these heroes together. Let's get the heroes together. Let's talk about the first hero. Oh boy. Arch. They done moved Arch down so much. He had an apartment off campus. They moved him all the way back to the dorms. Or they done moved Arch all the way back to the dorms. Week 1, it was Ohio State. Week 2, by the time they got to all that situation in week 2, it was a problem. They're like, listen, we ain't even gonna talk about Arch. This is wild work. He does not look good, period. Forget talking about top 25 and whatever. He looks like he might want to go ahead and see if there's an extra COVID year available for him. That's where we at with Arch Manning, right? Let's keep pushing. And I got some more receipts. I'm not going to do too much. I just wanted to get the pictures. I want you to put the names with the faces so that when these dudes play on Saturday, I need you to pull up and watch. Hey, man, I like Sellers, but let me tell you something. If you think he's going to come out here and he's a natural thrower to football, no, he's a great athlete. But go watch that South Carolina Gamecocks team. Nasty work on offense. The offense looks sluggish. It looks like it's herky-jerky. It looks like they can't complete passes over a certain amount of field, and it looks like they're out here just freelancing. I'm just saying, who's your guy? I gave you the stats last week, and you're going to hear from a guy who's telling you about this quarterback class. By the way, let me tell you something. This is wild work. Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders' numbers, if these dudes put the numbers they put up last year, people will be losing their mind. These guys won't put up a third of them numbers this year at this pace. A third. If any of these dudes had Shedeur Sanders' stats in college, they'd be with the least amount of talent playing in the Power 5. Don't act like Shedeur Sanders was playing in the MAC. He played in a Power 5 conference. Stop playing. Let's talk about this guy. Put the names with the faces. This guy, I wouldn't touch him with a 10-foot pole. He just looks like a guy that's just confused and with a Browns jersey on. He's the guy after 4 or 5 years, they talk about give him a chance. He has all the intangibles. He has all the tools. He just needs to put it together. If you can't put it together on the road at Georgia Tech, Kade Clubnick, under no circumstances, where is the generational savior? Where is it? Where is it? Huh?
Listen, this segment is sponsored by Mr. Hero. We always looking for one. I can be your hero, baby. You just looking for one. You
What did you eat this morning?
My breath. Y'all been looking for one. I don't see it. I don't see it.
Where is it at? You tell me in the chat. Where is it at? You put it in the chat. Where is it at? Put it in the chat. Where is it at? Put it in the chat. I'm looking for it. I'm looking for it. Let me see. I got another one to pull up. This guy. He looks like a dude that just, with a brown jersey all brown. He just been sacked 10 times. Look confused for the Browns. Huh? Where's it at? I seen you play against Florida. Nasty work. I gave the stats last week. I'm going to be watching this week too, buddy. And just so you know, let me watch how this conversation around the situation that moved. By the way, when is the last time you heard about that quarterback 26 class from any local people in the Cleveland market? Fan base, media members, where is the savior? Oh, quarterbacks in 26. Oh, quarterbacks in 26. Right, Bugatti. Oh, quarterbacks in 26. See the same energy level. Let's go ahead and share my screen. Watch how this college football analyst, he done took the whole class and reshuffled it. Let me show you. Let me share this screen. Let me share this screen. Joe Klatt, college football big noon. He didn't wipe down the whole list. He got the whole list wiped down. Let's go talk about it.
If you're not watching, if you're on YouTube, you can check this out. And again, go subscribe, go over to YouTube. You can check this out. My list looks like this. At number 10, I had Carson Beck of Miami. At number 9, Luke Altmaier from Illinois. 8 was Lenoris Sellers from South Carolina. 7 was DJ Lagway from Florida. Woof. 6 was Garrett Nussmeier at LSU. 5 was Drew Aller at Penn State. 4 was Sam Leavitt at Arizona State. Obviously, the returning quarterback there after they won the Big 12 championship. At number 3, a lot of belief from me in the offseason about John Mateer at Oklahoma. And then my top 2 quarterbacks going into the year were number 2, Arch Manning, and number 1, Kade Clubnick. Clubnick, of course, from Clemson. This is obviously going to look a lot different. Now, you heard a lot.
It's a lot different in 3 weeks. Generational don't change in 3 weeks. See, that's what I'm telling y'all. Generational don't change in 3 weeks. You can't fall out of love when you in 3 weeks. You can't have a child in 3 weeks. When you're talking about generational, generations is like centuries and decades, bro. How are you changing this up in 3 doggone weeks? This is just from the spring. Watch the energy he bring to it. He like, listen, let me tell y'all.
A lot of what I had to say about Garrett Nussmeier and DJ Lagway in Monday's show. So please, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on those guys right now. They're not going to be on this list of best performers so far through 3 weeks this year. If you want to hear what I had to say and specifically about DJ Lagway, go check out that show from Monday.
He He can't put him on the list this year. How your board, how your big board get wiped down so quickly? He said, I got to move Nussmeier and Lagway all the way off the board. They're not going to make this list this year. Oh, goodness. Oh, keep going. Keep going.
Now, a couple of other of these guys have played really well, but whether it's been the lack of strength of schedule and or just better play from others around the country, my list is going to look dramatically different. Now, I do want to give you a bit of a caveat here, is this next list is not going to be my top 10 draft or my top 10 quarterbacks. It's just best performers from the 3 weeks. But before we get there, I did want to just give you a bit of a thought on some of these guys that were high profile coming into the year that have certainly struggled. Their teams have certainly struggled during the short beginning of this season here in September. Let me start with Lenora Sellers at South Carolina. That fell off a cliff awfully fast, didn't it? South Carolina's offense has been abysmal the entire year. It doesn't matter who they have played. You know, small school, what was it? South Carolina State. Bigger school, Virginia Tech, who ends up 0-3 and firing their coach. They haven't played quality offense against anybody. So what happened last week against Vanderbilt wasn't actually that much of a surprise. And in fact, the bigger surprise is that they weren't moved down in the AP poll. They were ranked 11th in the country. They should not have been ranked 11th in the country. That was all preseason bias for South Carolina because they had played awful on offense.
This is why this is dangerous. This is dangerous because you got people that's in your area that watches this team that are telling you that not only you don't know how to evaluate quarterbacks, but you done got to a point where you're going to tell me I'm not playing none of the guys we got just so we can fast forward and get to these guys? It's malpractice. It's malpractice. And by the way, who was the first one to ever say that? There will be no shooters. There will be no others that come after me that say this type of noise. Because I've been telling you, I made them say, who you like so much. I told you last year they wasn't no good. If they were so great this year, they would have came out in this draft that was so weak. Couldn't none of them beat Cam Ward out? Couldn't none of them be better than Dylan Gabriel in the third round? Stop playing with me, bro. Stop playing. I told you that from Jump Street. Everything that I'm telling you, you tell me whether or not I was lying about it. And by the way, for all those that say, oh, it's still early, it's still early, it's still early, it's funny how you got the it's still early for people you ain't never seen play, but you will refuse to have that same energy level for the people that's on your roster today. I don't need to see them. I don't need to see them. How you don't need to see the people on your roster that you could play, but yet still you want to see more from people that you don't even. Remember what I said. It ain't about whether they're ready to play. It's whether or not you ready to see them play. Irrefutable evidence. Continue on, Mr. Joe Clack. Talk about why your saviors are not looking that good.
Including Lenora Sellers. It looks great the very first drive of the season. They go down the field, Sellers runs for a touchdown. You think to yourself, okay, preseason hype justified. Sellers is going to be a really good player. And then since then, it's fallen off the face of the map. In fact, even with weaker opponents, they've played 3 football games. And after that first drive, they've only scored 4 offensive touchdowns the rest of the season. That's crazy. So none of it's been good. Sellers has not been good. The rest of the offense have not been good. The only reason that they were able to beat Virginia Tech really in week 1 and even a bit in week 2 score points is they had 3 punt returns for touchdowns, which covers up a lot of those woes on the offensive side. So they've been struggling.
All right. So yeah, that's one down. Let's go to a couple more. Let's get to Kade Clubnick, who they have the Browns taking with the #1 overall pick. Let's talk about him. Can you? What are your assessments on Kade Clubnick? Let's get to it.
Everything's bad for that offense. You looked at the number of returning starters for Clemson. In this day and age, when we've seen the last 2 national champions, Michigan 2 years ago and Ohio State last year, have several returning starters. And you can look at that blueprint, and then you looked at Clemson in the offseason and you thought to yourself, man, that experience is going to pay huge dividends. This is going to be an incredible team. They've got experience at quarterback. They've got 4 offensive linemen back, a bunch of stuff to like. They've got elite players on the defensive side, and they have not played well at all.
So you telling me that the kid who got 4 offensive linemen back, elite playmakers at receivers, guys on the defensive line on the opposite side that are veterans that will be highly picked draft picks. You telling me that the same kid that got all of this and is throwing for 211 pass yards per game and just lost at Georgia Tech is going to come into Cleveland next year and be the savior? With no offensive lineman under contract, with Jerry Jeudy and Cedric Tillman as your best receivers. This is your savior? This is your king? Put it in the chat. I need to see it. Put it in the chat. Where is it at? Put it in the chat. I need it. Bro, come on. This is what we talking about?
All. To me, the Clemson problems on offense are a more holistic problem than specific to Clubnick. Okay? He's been under duress. They have not been able to run the football. Antonio Williams, his best wide receiver, has not been on the field. So I don't want to pin this directly on Clubnick, even though he has not played well. I'm not trying to give him a pass by any stretch of the imagination, but I am telling you it's more than Clubnick, and it's a holistic problem, which leads me to believe I don't know where the fix is for Clemson. I don't know if it's going to get a lot better for
He doesn't know where the fix is. You have professional receivers, high draft picks, and a great defense, and 4 returning starting offensive linemen, and a quarterback who's played a ton of football. He doesn't know where the fix is. And these are the people that you're selling your soul for. Losing games. Our quarterback is in 26. Generational class.
Clemson during the course of the year. There's nowhere where I can be like, hey, if they just have this small tweak, if he just plays a little bit better, if they get that guy back and healthy. They're saying it's Antonio Williams, but I'm just telling you right now, I think it's a bigger deal than one player.
Where is it at? Put it in the chat. Where is it at? Put it in the chat. Hey. Let's keep going. Where's the number one savior? Get to this number one savior. We've been on this from day one. Let's get to it.
Arch Manning has played really poor so far this year. Really poor. Nothing has looked solid. It's very different from the Klubnik and Sellers conversation because I don't think it's holistic. I do think that there is real pieces on that offense. They've got quality wide receivers. They've got quality backs. They're good up front. Now, have they played their best around him? Probably not. But this is, to me, a more specific Arch issue with their offense. So what's going wrong? Well, 10 straight incompletions against UTEP.
10 straight incompletions versus UTEP. This is you. The UTEP stands for the. Hey, babe. I know you watch major college football, but have you ever heard of the University of Texas El Paso? No. Okay. All right. I'm just checking. The University of Texas El Paso, 10 straight. But G. Bush, it was Ohio State in the shoe. It was in the shoe. And he had so much stuff. He looked great in the University of Texas, El Paso. And he came out again. I mean, Joe Clack, you just continue to prove my point. Texas, he said, Texas got receivers, linemen. They stacked. They're stacked. I know people going to be mad. People might be mad. It might not be for everybody, but now you can rewind this beautiful bean footage when people start talking that crazy work to you.
He's completing 55% of his passes overall. That's the second worst in the SEC. But then when you look at throws that actually cross the line of scrimmage and go downfield at all, not 5 yards, not 10 yards, just cross the line of scrimmage, he's completing 46% of his passes. Something is wrong right now with the game of Arch Manning. Something is wrong. He's clearly not comfortable. So
maybe, just maybe, he's not that good. Now, compare these numbers. I'll bring them up after this. I promise you, I will bring them up after this. I promise you, I will bring them up after this, and be ready for it.
Let's go into this. And I went back and I watched all of his attempts from that UTEP game. And let me preface this by saying, like, when you're going to watch a quarterback that's still young in his career, which Arch is still young in his career, here's typically what I look for, just so that you guys know when I'm watching, and maybe when you're watching as well. For young quarterbacks that don't have a ton of experience, the first thing you have to look for is the speed of the game affecting their play. Okay. And it looks like that's the case with Arch. It looks like that's the case with Arch. Even with his games that he was able to start and play in early last year, it didn't really translate.
Let me just show you how the game gonna go move. Now, remember all this generational conversation? Watch this man switch. Watch him go to his final, get to his final. This is his final class right here. We're gonna fast forward a little bit. Ask yourself, out of the top 10 dudes, how many of them are still top 10?
Does some of the other guys on this list? No, but he goes out there.
Now, Mateer, Carson Beck are the only two people that still made this list. Dante Moore, Gunnar Stockton, Haynes King, Tommy Castellanos, Rocco Beck, Joey Aguilar, Jaden Maiava, and Julian Sain. By the way, Julian Sain, I'm not a believer in him, any of Buckeye fans. I see my Bobcats go down there. He was looking quite terrible first half. I'm just saying. You get the point. You understand it. Let's stop sharing my screen. Y'all understand. Y'all get the point. The point is, these folks been looking for a hero for years. A generational savior to come on a white steed. And there is no generational savior. It's completely fabricated, made up, based on a rosy half glass full ideology about what you think is a great quarterback. Just because his last name is Manning and he says all shucks does not mean you're good. Just because you have a cool name like Kade or Gunner or Tanner, like, that don't mean you can sling the football. You let your hair grow out and get locks out the back like Trevor Lawrence don't mean you nice. But to a lot of people, that's what equates as good. Let me just show you to put in perspective. Let me show you to put in perspective so we can understand what we're looking at right now. And when they tell you why Shedeur Sanders don't got stats, his stats is better than everybody, double them up. Give his stats to one of these dudes. If you take his stats at Colorado and give it to him, to these dudes, all of a sudden, he's a generational quarterback. Give him, here we go. Let me just go ahead and snip this because I want you to see it. Because guess what? We always talk about it. If the facts aren't on your side, argue the process. If the process and the facts ain't already on your side, yell like hell. He's just not ready. He's just not ready. Why don't you do 2 hours? Calm down. You're hyperventilating. He's just not ready. That means the numbers and the stats ain't on your side. And that generational coach that you was coming around, look, I didn't even know his numbers was like that. Good gracious, this dude's numbers is ridiculous. Oh my gosh. This dude, he got better numbers than I thought it was. I had to double check. It's on StatMuse. Good gracious. Let's go ahead and save this, boy. Man, let me show you. If they had numbers like this, can you imagine what they would call these guys? Huh? Let me take this down so you can see this. Look at these numbers. He only threw 3 interceptions, 27 touchdowns, 3 picks in 2023. 4,100 yards. Where? What? Oh yeah. 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 Bro, he, oh my goodness. This is bad, man. This is nasty work. This is nasty work. Let me see. Hold on, give me this. This man ain't put up no yards. What are you talking about? His numbers ain't even better than his. Kade Clubnick's numbers is nowhere near his. Arch Manning played 4 games. They don't even got Dylan Gabriel's numbers. Nasty work. Nastiest work. We're going to get to the super chats. And I always tell you.
Listen, this segment is sponsored by Mr. Hero. We always looking for one. I can be your hero, baby. You just looking for one.
What did you eat this morning?
My breath. Y'all been looking for one. I don't see it. I don't see it. See it.